think just the biggest thing is, it's really, really special, and I don't think it's going to set in for me for quite some time. I want my legacy to be the impact that I can have on young kids and the people in the state of Iowa. And I hope I brought them a lot of joy this season. I hope this team brought them a lot of joy. I understand we came up one win short, but I think we have a lot to be proud of and a lot to celebrate. And I was just that young girl, so all you have to do is dream, and you can be in moments like this.
What started as pure celebration in Boston's TD Garden turned into a nightmare in seconds. The Fever just beat the Sun for their third straight win, fans erupting in joy, when suddenly Caitlin Clark started limping, clutching her groin. The cameras caught her tears streaming down her face on the bench. This wasn't just any injury. This was the same groin that sidelined her before. But here's what makes this even more devastating. The referees allowed the same dangerous physicality that's been targeting her all season long to continue unchecked. For Clark, and for the rest of the Indiana Fever. Picture this. TD Garden is absolutely electric, but not for the supposed home team, the Connecticut Sun. The arena sounds like Indianapolis invaded Boston. Fever fans filled every section, chanting for their team like they owned the place. You could hear "Let's Go Fever" echoing through the historic venue. This was supposed to be Connecticut's home court advantage, but it felt like a Fever home game instead. The Fever just dominated the Sun 85-77 for their third straight win. Kelsey Mitchell dropped 20 points while Natasha Howard grabbed a double-double with 18 points and 13 rebounds. The team looked unstoppable. Their record improved to 12-10, putting them in solid playoff position. Everything was going according to plan until the final minute changed everything. But in the span of seconds, everything changed when Clark grabbed her groin and hit the floor. The play looked routine until Clark suddenly clutched her right groin, grimacing in visible pain. Then she did something that broke hearts everywhere. She hit her head against the basket stanchion in pure frustration. The cameras captured something that will haunt Fever fans. Tears streaming down Clark's face as she sat on that bench. Her expression told the whole story. This wasn't just discomfort or fatigue. This was real pain, and she knew it. The joy from moments before completely vanished from her face. This wasn't just any injury. This was the same groin issue that had already sidelined her before. Clark had already missed 5 games earlier this season due to a left groin injury. Now her right groin was acting up, raising serious concerns about overcompensation and her long-term health. You could feel the entire arena shift from celebration to complete silence in moments. Fever fans who had been cheering loudly suddenly went quiet. The energy completely changed as everyone realized something was seriously wrong with their star player. What made this even more heartbreaking was seeing her teammates' faces. They knew something was seriously wrong. You could see the concern in their eyes as they watched Clark struggle. The celebration stopped immediately as everyone focused on their injured teammate. The medical staff rushed over, but the damage might already be done to Indiana's championship hopes this season. Coach Stephanie White later said Clark felt a little something in her groin and would undergo further evaluation. The WNBA All-Star Game was just days away in Indianapolis, where Clark was scheduled to participate and serve as team captain.
Obviously, a lot was made of this matchup between yourself and Diana Taurasi. I know she's one of your idols. How big is it for you to get a win here against her today?
I'm just happy we won. It was cool to play against her, and obviously a really great game. And like you said, this crowd was absolutely incredible.
This injury represents everything wrong with how the league has allowed Clark to be targeted all season long. She had already missed 10 games total due to leg injuries, and now another setback threatened her availability. But to understand how we got here, we need to go back to where this vendetta really started. Let's talk about the game that started this whole mess. June 17th against these same Connecticut Sun players. That day marked a turning point in how opponents treated Caitlin Clark. The physicality crossed every acceptable line in professional basketball. J.C. Sheldon and Marina Mabrey crossed every line that day with an eye poke and body check that shocked the basketball world. Sheldon's finger went straight into Clark's eye during what should have been routine defensive coverage. The contact was deliberate and dangerous. Marina Mabrey followed up with a hard body check that sent Clark stumbling backward. These weren't basketball plays. They were targeted attacks.
And then Mabrey came in with a bump.
And Mabrey's day is almost assuredly going to be done But both teams.
But here's what the cameras didn't show you: the aftermath and how it set up this revenge game. The incident created lasting tension between these teams. Players remembered exactly what happened that day. The Suns' actions became a rallying point for the entire Fever organization. Sophie Cunningham stepped up that day like a true teammate, getting in the faces of Clark's bullies. She immediately confronted both Sheldon and Mabry after their dirty plays. Cunningham made it clear that targeting Clark wouldn't go unanswered. Her protective stance showed the team's solidarity and commitment to defending their star player.
No update. Just felt a little something in her groin, so we'll get it evaluated and see what happens from there.
Yeah, just kind of to follow up on that. Looked like she was kind of grabbing at her right groin area. Is that the concern?
Yeah, if that's the one she was grabbing at. I don't know which one it was, but yeah, I mean, that's it.
The league barely did anything about those dirty plays, sending a message that targeting Clark was acceptable. The WNBA's disciplinary measures were viewed as insufficient to deter future aggressive behavior. This perceived inaction fueled the sense that Clark wasn't being properly protected by officials or league administrators. Fast forward to this Boston game, and you could see the tension the moment these teams stepped on the court. Players exchanged stares during warm-ups. The atmosphere felt different from a regular season matchup. Everyone knew this game carried extra weight. Clark came into this game with something to prove, playing with an edge we hadn't seen before. She attacked the basket more aggressively. Her passes had extra zip. Every possession seemed personal to her. Other star players get protected, but Clark gets hammered possession after possession with no consequences. The level of physicality allowed against her is different from what other marquee players face. She takes hits that would draw immediate fouls if they happen to other stars. The pattern is so obvious that even casual fans are starting to notice the bias. The poor officiating was so bad that commentators and analysts agreed it was one of the worst performances they had seen. The referees were making the game about themselves instead of letting the players play. What Clark said to that referee during their argument reveals just how fed up she's become with this treatment. Her words showed months of pent-up frustration finally boiling over. Even her brother Colin took to social media, tweeting, "Make no mistake, this is on the referees," highlighting the perceived lack of protection for Clark. But it was Stephanie White's post-game comments that really exposed what's been happening behind the scenes. Her scathing comments about the referees revealed a systemic problem that goes way deeper than just bad calls. White didn't dance around the issue of physicality against Clark. She told reporters straight up, "I knew it as an opponent, and I see it as her coach." That statement hit different coming from someone who had coached against Clark before joining the Fever. White understood both sides of this situation. The coach's next words were even more telling. She added, "I'm not exactly sure why, but it is what it is." That phrase revealed everything. White couldn't understand why Clark was being targeted like this. Her resignation showed how helpless coaches feel when referees won't protect their players. White also dropped a bombshell about the league's overall direction. She noted that the level of physicality in the league has been at a different level than it's been for a long time. This wasn't just about one game or one player anymore. The entire WNBA was becoming more physical, and star players were paying the price. White's words confirmed what Fever fans have been screaming about all season. The league is failing to protect their biggest star, and now she might be seriously hurt because of it. Her comments validated every frustrated fan who had watched Clark get hammered game after game. The coach was saying what everyone already knew, but officials refused to acknowledge. This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about whether Clark can even stay healthy enough to have the career she deserves. The All-Star game was just days away in Indianapolis, where Clark was supposed to participate in the three-point contest and serve as team captain. Now that was all in jeopardy because referees wouldn't do their jobs. White's explosive truth exposed a league that was failing its biggest star when she needed protection most. What happened in Boston shows us that the WNBA has a serious problem. They're allowing their biggest star to get hurt because referees won't do their job. Clark was supposed to participate in the three-point contest and captain her all-star team in Indianapolis. Now that's all in question because officials can't protect her from dangerous plays. If the league doesn't step up and protect Clark, we might be watching the destruction of the most exciting player women's basketball has ever seen. The Fever's future, Clark's health, and the integrity of the entire league now hangs in the balance. And it's time for fans to demand better. Let's wish Caitlin a speedy recovery in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.